You know the feeling when you're in the beginning of the new months and you kind of look back and you're like, oh my God, where did the month go and what did I actually do? We all love setting goals. That fresh start at the beginning of the year, it's so exciting. But here's the thing, setting goals is just the first step. If we don't actually check in with ourselves to see how we're doing, where we're going, we can end up going through motions of the year. And at the end of the year, we're going to look back at our list of the things that we want to accomplish and we're going to feel deeply sad and bad about ourselves because we didn't accomplish what we want. That is why doing your monthly reflections is very important. And that is why I am starting my new series called Monthly Reflections, where I will be sitting down with you every month and having raw, genuine, and honest conversations about things that worked for me, things that didn't, things that I learned. And I really want you to do these reflections with me. There are 3 parts to this video. In the first one, we're going to be talking why monthly reflections are important. In the second part, I will guide you through a step-by-step gentle process on how we can do it and turn this into a cozy self-care, self-love ritual. And finally, in the last part of the video, we'll be learning how to set goals, how to get excited about the month ahead, and how to make sure that we're still aligned to the life that we want to create. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's dive in. It seems that our lives are getting busier and more intense than ever before. That is why it is really important to take a step back and do some reflections. Because if you want to achieve different results, you need to start doing things differently. And we start with reflection because we get so caught up in day-to-day hustle, day-to-day things that we need to do, our responsibilities, places we need to be, places we need to go. We stay busy, we try to cross things off of our to-do list. We're trying to be productive. But we rarely actually stop and ask ourselves whether it's working for us or not. I think we probably barely ever do that to ask how we feel, because feelings is something that is frowned upon, really, which is kind of sad. And when we don't pause to reflect, ask ourselves how we're doing, how we're feeling, that's when we end up feeling stuck. That's when we end up feeling in a rut. We end up doing things or staying in relationships that no longer serve us, and we chase goals that are not even aligned with who we are right now. That is why a monthly reflection can be a total game changer. So first of all, it connects you back to your yearly goals. It's one thing to set up your goals and resolutions in January, but it's the other thing to actually check in with yourself, review those goals, and make sure that you are still aligned with them and still on track. Most importantly, it keeps your vision alive, which helps you to stay motivated and not just drift throughout another year. It helps you to track your progress, even the invisible kind. Because sometimes we feel like we're not making progress because it's not something tangible, it's not something that we can see right away. But when we reflect, you actually realize how many little things you have accomplished and how different you are starting to act. Essentially, you're becoming a different person from who you're used to be. Maybe you didn't hit a big milestone right now, but you showed up and you stayed consistent even when things were not going the way you thought they would, and that's all that matters. Reflecting on your goals gives you a permission to pivot, because let's be honest, sometimes when we set our goals in January, when we actually reflect on them, we realize that maybe right now it's not really what we need, or maybe it actually does not align with us anymore. And that's okay, because life changes and you change. Reflecting will help you to let go of what's needed and replace it with something more meaningful. Most importantly, it builds accountability and compassion, because it's not about being hard on yourself all the time. It's about staying connected and enjoying the journey. Reflection keeps your goals from fading away in the background, and once again, it just keeps you intentional about what you do every day. So now that we know why reflection matters, let's talk about how we can actually do that. In this section, I'll walk you through a step-by-step process on how we can reflect on our months and make this process not stressful but enjoyable. That can literally be part of your self-love and self-care routine, because we're gonna make it cozy, comforting, and we're actually gonna romanticize all these little steps along the way. When you're going to sit down to reflect on your months, make it intentional. So, for example, light up a candle, maybe turn on some cozy music or your favorite playlist, make yourself a cup of tea, grab a blanket, grab a journal. Make sure that nobody will disturb you. Put your phone on do not disturb. Just be completely present in this moment because you are doing it for yourself. Your higher self will be so, so proud of you. By doing all these little rituals, these things might seem meaningless at a time, especially if you're not used to doing, but it actually transforms this from a task on your to-do list to a self-care, self-love ritual. It turns it essentially into a meaningful moment with yourself. Journaling has been one of my go-to things when I'm feeling down, but it's also one of my go-to things when I want to reflect on what's happening with life. So here, for example, some journal prompts that I recommend using when you're going to be reflecting on your month. What am I proud of this month? Big wins, small moments. What made you feel good about yourself? What challenges did I face and how did I handle them? Because it's so easy to overlook how strong we are, how much we did this month until we actually reflect on it and write it down. What felt aligned and exciting? What felt draining and forced? This one always helps me to notice what actually gave me energy and provided me with motivation to keep going. And it also allows me to kind of do an audit of my life and see what no longer serves me or what I should be doing less of. Essentially something that's quietly wearing me down. What's one thing that I learned about myself this month? I think when you're on your self-love healing journey, you learn about yourself so much more because you're kind of stay aware, you remain aware of certain situations and you get some aha moments as to why you act or think or feel certain ways. Reflecting on the months allows you to kind of ground that and learn from it and not make the same mistakes again or understand yourself better. So when you are in the similar situation, you can actually take a step back and be like, oh, okay, I know why I feel this way and I am not my feelings, I am not my thoughts, so I can actually choose to act and feel a different way, and that's how you can actually change and heal and get better. This might be kind of weird. I don't think I've heard a lot of people talking about this, but documenting your milestones is really important. So you probably take a lot of pictures throughout the months, especially in our social media world when we are posting a lot of things online. Your camera roll is probably full. Mine probably has like 80,000 pictures and videos and screenshots, and I'm kind of embarrassed about that. Instead of just simply taking pictures and posting them on your social media, I think it's important for us to look back at our camera roll for the months and see what things made us happy, because chances are you probably forgot about some of them. So for instance, it could be like your favorite photo or a video from a special moment. Maybe it was a comment or a message that you received from a loved one. Maybe it was like something funny that you saw, like a meme or a video. It could be a kind message or recognition from work. Literally anything counts. So I think it's also important maybe to create a little album and call it March 2025 or whatever, and add some meaningful, memorable moments and just look back at that. And for next month, you can actually, every time something exciting happens, you can actually edit into your album and you can go back to it when you're going to be doing reflections. I think it's a very meaningful way to keep our life more memorable rather than just simply taking pictures for the purpose of posting them. It's also very important, especially during the months where you feel like everything was just too much, you were stressed out, life was too busy. But when you're able to, look back, I'm sure there would be some moments that are worth remembering and worth being grateful for. It's also important to emotionally check in with yourself because, again, I feel like we're not doing enough of that. I think our feelings, society just thinks that they're not important, and it's kind of hard to get your feelings validated, let alone by somebody else. But I think we are also not validating our own feelings and emotions, which is something that we definitely need to work on. So you can ask yourself some questions like, were you energized? Were you overwhelmed? Were you peaceful? irritable, were you restless? You can take it a step further and maybe kind of like dig a little bit deeper as to through which moments you were feeling those ways. And really, there is no right or wrong answer here. It's just important to be aware of your feelings and emotions, because that's how you can stay grounded and that's how you can stay aware of what's happening in your life and how it is affecting you, and make more intentional choices about where you want to go and where you want to be. These emotions can guide you essentially how you can move forward. I think most importantly is make sure that you take a moment to maybe write a thank you letter to this month, to express your gratitude for all the things that happened, and also write a little, maybe like a let go letter, and write all the things that you're letting go this month. It could have been maybe you had some kind of unfortunate event, maybe you went through a breakup, or maybe, God forbid, you lost a loved one. So write a letter about all that, and hopefully it will make you feel better, at least for a time being. Okay, so now that we talked about how we can reflect on our month, I think that way we can have more clarity and move with more intention on what we want to accomplish the next months. So make sure that you adjust your goals based on your reflections. So if all your goals are still the same, great. If some goals are no longer working out for you, make sure that you adjust them. I want to remind you that you are evolving and your goals can change, and that's okay. Please do not punish yourself and do not shame yourself if the goals are not aligning with what you want right now. You can always revisit it later. You can always revisit them next month. I think this one is such a great way to get excited for the next month, is to create a monthly mood board. So just go on Pinterest and type some things that you are looking forward to do this month, or some goals that you want to accomplish, to kind of set the mood and help you stay motivated throughout the journey. You can do a digital collage. You can actually maybe print some pictures and put them on your vision board, or on your fridge, or somewhere around your desk, or somewhere where you can see. Or maybe you can take it even a step further and create an actual background photo for your iPhone or for your laptop or whatever device you use most frequently. So that kind of, again, helps you stay motivated and inspired. Make sure that when you're setting up your goals, you also set some things that you are genuinely looking forward to do. So maybe it could be a solo date, a fun workshop, a movie night with a friend, anything like that, to keep you motivated and keep you excited throughout this month, because we get so caught up in chasing our goals that I think we also forget on how to live a normal life and see our friends, see our loved ones, family. So make sure that you schedule time for that. This is also super important. Make sure that you schedule self-care and downtime. Again, we get so caught up in staying busy, staying productive, and most importantly, we think that, rest is for the wicked. We don't need to rest. We don't need to sleep. We can just push ourselves to the limits. No, stop doing that. That's when burnout happens. This really prevents you from accomplishing your goals. That's what makes you feel resentful when you accomplish your goals. And it just takes fun away from the whole process. So make sure that you schedule some things. It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. Even a cozy night in, a movie night, maybe taking a bath, maybe having a little spa day at home. But again, make sure that you schedule them and make sure that you actually commit to doing them, because it's easy to add them to your calendar, but then you're like, oh, this is not the time. I am so busy. I need to do this. Even if you're busy, do it for at least 5, 10, or 15 minutes. But make sure that you give yourself rest and enough downtime. And this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you were able to learn a lot about why monthly reflections matter, how to do them, and some things that you can do to set goals for the next months. Please let me know in the comment section down below what's one thing that you are mostly proud of that you accomplished this month, and let me know what's one thing that you are excited to do next month. And reminder that this is the first video in the series. In the second video, I will actually go into be discussing my monthly reflections for the month of March, what worked, what didn't. I am super excited for that, because I am also going to combine that process with doing something super comforting and cozy, which is baking banana bread. So I think it'll be a fun and cozy video for you to watch, and hopefully inspire you to do your own monthly reflections. If you want some comforting moments and maybe raw and genuine conversations on what happened this month for me, so make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you do not miss that video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for your time. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.